Shalom, family. It's good to see you all here. I hope everybody is enjoying their no thanks, no giving day. Oh, yeah. We don't do no thanks and we don't do no giving on this day. So, everybody, I have an update on Diddy. And, the things that are happening to him were exactly what I was going to expect. It didn't matter if he settled that lawsuit. People that are, connected to him in a business manner, they're going to get rid of him. He's a liability now. It doesn't matter if he's a billionaire, he's a liability. People are not going to let him, or the fact that they got him around, ruin the they're not going to let him ruin their businesses. And they will get rid of Diddy. They don't care. Once you become a liability, it doesn't matter what his status is, y'all. It don't matter. So I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. Normally I would share the actual article with y'all, but that is actually a copyright infringement. And I think a lot of people that do that don't realize that. So you may wonder why sometimes I don't show the article. I'll show the picture. Now, I briefly accidentally hit on the wrong thing, but I show the picture because you can get hit with a copyright infringement for showing the actual article. Okay. And YouTube did put something out a couple of years ago about that. So do the article. Anybody that's a YouTube creator, do the article, but just show a picture of what you're talking about opposed to the article, because, you can get hit. You don't want any kind of copyright strikes, or if a news organization sees their article up on your screen, yeah, they can hit you with that. So anyway, Diddy has a clothing collection called Sean John. And I remember when he introduced it like 20 years ago that he was putting his own line of clothes out. Well, Macy's picked it up 20 years ago. And after he settled his lawsuit with Cassies, they dropped him. You know, even though he settled it, it's still bad publicity, and people in business don't want to be associated with someone that abuse people, abuse women, or, and some of the things that came out about Diddy. Thank you, Onika, for the super chat. Lisa, he's got deep skeletons in his closet. Females aren't his only victims. You're absolutely right about that. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, people bought it over the years. I mean, look, 20 years is a long time for a line of clothing to be out there. I'm sure a lot of people bought his stuff. I mean, let's be real. A lot of people probably bought his stuff in that 20-year period. And plus, you know how we are. We want to support a black business, and you'll do stuff like that. I'm sure at the time you made the purchase, you didn't know all this stuff about Diddy and what he was doing. The vast majority of the people did not know. Hmm. So let's get into the story. So Diddy sure got a lot of problems. It's like open up the floodgates because they're coming. So his brand, Macy says, is being phased out. They will no longer carry his clothing line. So Diddy's clothing brand, Sean John, will no longer be carried in Macy's, with an insider connection to the retail giant telling they gave an exclusive interview about the rapper's label, and they said the department store made a decision they will not carry his clothesline in the store or online. So his clothing line is coming even it can't even be on their website. So it's gone. Effective this month. So they're not wasting no time. John John is offered on Macy's websites and in selected stores, but our source shared that the corporate business has been evacuating the brand for a while now, noting that it hasn't been selling like it used to back in the late 90s and early 2000s. They emphasized the decision to phase out the label had been an ongoing process before Cassie's lawsuit. Yeah, but they're phasing it out and announcing it after the settlement, right? So, as part of our ongoing review of our brand portfolio, the Sean John collection has started to phase out of assortments. They said they start phasing it out early this fall. Okay. We're told Diddy's products are being removed and won't be available on the website. With the insider. So they said, of course, the course of business, retail stores are always evaluating and deciding what's relevant to consumers. And people are no longer buying Sean John. The sources to Diddy's played off the Macy's move. So they were trying to act like it was no big deal, revealing the rapper's brand as being re-imaged but has no official plans to re-release. I don't think it's being re-imaged, y'all. Number one, that's a very expensive thing. And since all of this stuff came out about Cassie, who's going to really pick up his clothesline at this point? Who's going to do that? Nobody's going to do that. His reputation is going to follow him no matter where he goes. They also said the news about the department store is relevant because this is part of the process. Diddy started the clothesline label in 1998. He sold 90% of the stake to Global Brand Group back in 2016, but he repurchased Sean John back from them in December of 2021 for $7.5 million dollars after the holding company went bankrupt. Macy's has been carrying Sean John since the beginning, with the music mogul signing an exclusive partnership with the department store in 2010. As the outlet reported, the rapper was sued by Cassie last week in an explosive lawsuit and claimed her ex raped her and physically abused her and piled her with drugs. And, she was forced to do all kinds of things during their relationship. She also claimed Diddy blew up Kid Cudi's car. Now, Kid Cudi, he did confirm that. He said his car was blown up. His car got blown up in the driveway of his home, and he confirmed it after discovering the two had been hanging out while their relationship with him was on pause. Kid Cudi confirmed his vehicle did blow up, with his spokesperson telling the New York Times, "This is all true." Diddy denied Cassie's allegations, claiming she had blackmailed him before filing the $30 million lawsuit. Now, from what I understand, y'all, Diddy and Cassie were going back and forth with each other over a 6-month period. So he knew this lawsuit might come as a result of that, and it did. And number two, blackmailing anybody is a felony. So he could have legally gone after her. And if you say the allegations are not true, this is civil court. So he also got the right to countersue her. If you feel what she presented is wrong, you countersue her. Number two, lawyers, let me tell y'all this: lawyers will never take on a civil suit unless a person has proof. So Cassie had to bring something to that law office for them to take the case. You walk in any law office and say you want to file a civil suit, they want proof on what you got on that person before they take the case. And especially any of you that had to go looking for an attorney, those attorneys will drop you if you don't come with any kind of evidence in backing up what you have to say. So Cassie had to bring something in order to retain a lawyer in the first place. I'm just letting y'all know that. If you don't believe me, walk into any law office and make an accusation. They're going to ask you, do you have proof to back up your claim? That's exactly what they're going to ask you. That lawyer is not going to walk in civil court with no proof. They're not going to do that. So always keep that in mind. The world was shocked when Cassie settled her lawsuit with Diddy one day later. With the 37-year-old, because Cassie is now 37 years old, releasing a statement about her decision. I have decided to resolve this matter. So, she put out a statement, Diddy put out a statement, and the settlement details have not been released. And more than likely, it's never going to be released. She probably had to sign a non-disclosure and agree not to put out a tell-all book and do no tell-all movie and, none of that stuff. So I have a feeling there's going to be more to come when it comes down to Diddy. I really do. I think more lawsuits are coming and more settlements are going to have to, happen. I mean, we're in the time of when things are going to be revealed. And sometimes things are going to be revealed about people and you're going to be shocked. Now, some of you might have heard Diddy took down Kim Porter's wiki page. And he did that the day after the settlement. So That's why, some of you, because I have some diehard Diddy fans that have come at me. Oh, these are allegations. This ain't true. Go shopping for a lawyer. That's all I have to say. You don't believe it? Go out here and shop for a lawyer and tell him what happened to you. And I promise you, that lawyer's going to look right across the desk at you and say, what do you have to back up what you're telling me? That's exactly what they're going to say to you, you know? But I'm not surprised a giant like Macy's, they're not going to let even somebody like Diddy drag on their reputation. Not that they have a great one. Really, they don't have a great one, but they're not going to let something like this occur. Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm sure there's still plenty more skeletons in that closet that we just don't know about, you know? But I think we may be looking at the beginning of a downfall as far as Diddy is concerned. Thank you, J. Cage, for the super chat. This dude actually did a lot of damage to his, I think you mean, own people over the years. And I agree with you, J. Cage. That's why I don't like Diddy. That is the biggest reason why I don't like Diddy. Diddy was in a position where he could have done a lot of good and helped a lot of people. But instead of doing that, the fact that he wouldn't pay people and all that stuff. And then I heard what Mace said about how he did Mace. And you know what? I don't like anybody that takes the time to screw over their own people. See, once you show me you're going to screw over the people that look like you, I'm never going to be down with you. I'm never going to be down with you at all. I don't like folks like that. Even when I was younger, when I would see a child turning on all, and you're here, you are black, and you're turning on all of the other black kids, but you down with the white kids. I didn't like those kind of children. I didn't play with those kind of kids when I was young. When I noticed that about them, I would steer clear away from them. I didn't want those kind of people in my presence, even back then. So, in adulthood, I don't like folks like that. Mm-mm. You're right, Jakob. All skin folks ain't kin folks, and Diddy is definitely not kinfolk. You know what? His empire is falling, but he is stupid. If he was a good businessman, he would be able to pass that legacy down to his children. He got 7 children. He got 7 children. Now, his last child was with an Asian woman. And do you know, she did an interview not long after Cassie came out with her lawsuit. And she said when she was pregnant, he threw her down on her stomach. He wanted her to get rid of the baby. He didn't want her to have the baby. He was trying to make her miscarry the baby. His flesh and blood baby. No, y'all can back that mess up all you want. I ain't down with nobody like that. Mhm. It is too much. Sometimes, you know, y'all, one thing I learned too, the more money people got, sometimes this is what happens, the more wicked they become. It's not all people, but there's a lot of them that are. They will do a lot of wicked things with their wealth. Yeah, Aerospike, Zero Zero, I never was either. Even back in the day, when I think back in the 90s and early 2000s, I never gravitated towards Diddy. Never. He was just not the one I was really into. But, even though he settled the lawsuit less than 24 hours later, this is gonna stick with Diddy. This whole thing with Cassie, and now people are questioning what happened to Kim. This is gonna stick with him. Whether he settled or not, this is gonna stick with him for the rest of his life. Mhm. Yeah, Tupac, I used to always listen to Tupac back in the day, Biggie too. But like I said, the first rap group I really, because a lot of people like Sugar Hill Gang, was their first favorite. My first favorite was Heavy D and the Boys. That he was absolutely my favorite, you know? And some of the other rappers that I liked, they came later, but Heavy D and the Boys were the first ones I liked. And I know a lot of people, they like Sugar Hill Gang, and that's fine. We all got our own preference. Yeah, so did I, Tempest. I did love Heavy D. And I mean, we knew all those artists of Fat Boys. Yeah, I used to, they were funny. I mean, if nothing else, they were really, they were a novelty. All three of them were Fat Boy, and Curtis Blow. We all remember Curtis Blow. Hmm. Heavy D and Diddy didn't like each other either. When rap was new, they actually worked together, but they fell out real fast. Those 2 did not like each other. They did like each other once upon a time, and then everything fell apart, and even Heavy D got away from him. Ice Cube, especially if you were into the West Coast rappers, like, Ice Cube, Eazy-E. You still got Fat Boys. Soul Flow still got their Fat Boy collection, huh? Oh, that's funny. Faith Evans, yes. Mhm. Yeah, well, Foxy Brown said Diddy did her dirty. She's another one that said he did her wrong. Said he treated her like crap. But there were certain ones he didn't mistreat. I guess it all depends on how you come off as a woman. 'Cause, he never mistreated Mary J. Blige. He didn't. He didn't mistreat Faith Evans, and he did not mistreat Lil' Kim. Now, certain ones he didn't do that to, but others he did. But see, I read Biggie used to do him knew how to handle, P. Diddy. What Biggie would do is, when he was about to go in concert, he would let the entire room get packed with people. And he would go up to Diddy after the crowd was there and said, "I'm not going to go out there and perform until you give me my money." And Diddy paid him. That's how Biggie got his money. He would just wait until it was a big event, He was at the event, the house was packed, and he would let them know, "I'm not going on the stage until you pay me." and and Diddy would scramble to pay him. That's how he would get his money. No, but they did do collaborations with the artists under Bad Boy Records. That's what I'm talking about. They did do collaborations, and so did Foxy Brown. But if you go online, you'll even hear Mary J. Blige talk about working with Diddy. You know, she spoke about working with him a couple of years back. Mhm. All right, y'all. I'm gonna conclude. So thank you for coming, but you gotta come back because I got Kyle Rittenhouse coming. Kyle Rittenhouse is broke, y'all. He's broke. Y'all gotta come back for that one. And I'll be doing that live stream on Kyle Rittenhouse at 5 o'clock. So, you know, this is the holiday for a lot of people. So I hope if you have time and this is your day off from work, then come back for that. We're going to have a lot of fun with that one. Yeah, he's broke. And you know, they gave him $2 million. And this is what, less than 2 years from the time he was on trial. And he done blew through all that $2 million that people gave him. He blew through all that money. Hmm. All right, y'all. Please enjoy the rest of your day. And those of you that will be back at 5 o'clock for my live stream on Kyle Rittenhouse, I will see you then. Shalom, family.